thanks for joining us. This is a bit of a podcast special brought to you by Eden Realty. It's a men's mental health month, which I'm sure you're all aware. It's something that's been very important to me since my dad died a couple of years ago, and you begin to realise your own levels of mortality, but also you begin to understand how difficult our job is as guys in real estate, as family men, and the pressures that we put on ourselves through social media, through success. So it's just an opportunity for us to share our experiences with you and tell you how we cope with our own stress. So why don't we start with you, Alex? Introduce yourself, and we'll just go around just very quickly.
I'm Alex, 18 years in Dubai. Joined Eden Realty like 6 months ago, and stressful job, but
not the company. The company's not stressful.
No.
The industry.
The company is great, but, and the colleagues are great, but stressful job, especially in those times. But you just learn.
And you're a father of two, right?
I'm a father of two. 5 and 6. So sometimes a lot of pressure, but enjoying most of it for.
Vermlet?
Ray, father of 0.
That you know of?
Yeah. Cut that bit. I've been with Eden now for coming up to 2 years, almost 2 years. It's gone very quickly.
That has gone quickly.
Best company in the world, obviously.
Obviously, well done.
Been stressful. Every day I think stressful, but then the last couple of months has really put a focus on how stressful it can get. And I don't know, as you were talking about your dad then, I was just thinking about how the parallel is with real estate. We all think real estate is going to be amazing until it's not. And then suddenly it's like, oh shit.
Well, that's what we're here
I don't know if I can swear. Yeah.
Your background was obviously in finance, where you had a salary.
Had a salary.
Job security.
Yeah, even to the point where, towards the end of working in finance, I was actually just like a metronome, just ticking over.
Yeah.
Money's coming in, you're going to hit your bonus.
So that's something I want us to talk about, is obviously the sporadic nature of our incomes and how it's feast or famine. But let's end with Mansour here.
I'm Mansour, and actually I think that he's just like, his opinion that he's on stress and for him is difficult in his situation. But man, when you will come to our board, when you will get some kids, and you will understand that.
Have you got kids?
You lost that, huh?
You got kids?
Yeah.
Do you?
A father too, yeah.
2 kids?
Yeah.
Mansour's
5 and
just
7.
joined us in Adam.
Yeah.
It's not like I've just
Man.
I didn't know you had kids, man.
Huh?
I didn't know you had kids.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, that's good.
5 and 7, and
nice.
Of course, I don't know. Maybe it's my own position, or everyone think the same. But I have no any chance to show any stress, any pressure to my family, because of they have to be out of my all of this nervous situation because of my business. So they have to enjoy.
What does stress mean to you? Like when I say, I know what stress means to me. How, if you're feeling stressed, how does that manifest? How does it present in you?
Actually, I think that I'm feeling stress maybe less than a lot of people around me because of let's say some life experience. I really hope that no one will find that much loss which I find in my life, and I just wear something like body armor,
Yeah,
and
a lot of guys have to,
for me, it's easier to find some situation our business is not just a business, it's the business when you don't know where and when you will find your next income.
Yeah.
This is the most let's say difficulty which you can find, but without that stress, how to say,
motivation.
Yeah. The only thing which you push to do and wake up every morning and to do your business and work hard, it's your responsibility because of your family and the kids. That's why I told Ray, enjoy when you will come
Enjoy
back,
the freedom.
come to us, man.
That set me
You will
back another
understand
2
that all my
years.
years.
Alex, how does stress manifest itself to you when you start to feel the weight of the world on your shoulder? Because it is slightly different when you have kids and you have a family, and right, people are looking at you.
Well,
to,
that it's
bring home the
related to
bacon.
money, I assume, because when I see that we don't have regular income, so some points, I mean, in the last 18 years, I've earned good money and some years less money. So I'm used to that. But when you have kids now, you mean, you need, as you said, you need to provide, you need to pay the schools, you need to pay everything, and life is expensive in Dubai. I mean, 7th most expensive city in the world, I think. So when I have, let's say, 1 to 2 years of income, regular income on my bank account, I feel kind of safe because I know I have some time in front of me before I close the next deal, and I still can provide.
So you try and keep 2 years worth of income.
I think if you have 2 years, that you can keep kind of safe because, I mean, usually it could be 1 year, but yeah, 2 years because I have a house in my home country. We just bought a house here, so I have kind of two countries where I have to pay my bills. So yeah, 2 years is where I.
But how do you know when you're feeling stressed? Like, how does it? So for me, like, to put it into context, if I'm feeling stressed, if I feel like I have the weight of the world on me, I go very quiet. And you guys will know I'm not a particularly quiet person, but I deal with my stress by just sort of turning in on myself and figuring it out on my own, right? Because as guys, we don't really sit down, I mean, and have a straightforward conversation with each other about how we feel, about our stress levels. And our job is, rejection, competition, the amount of times we get told things that aren't true, and we have to. I don't believe anything I'm told in this industry anymore. I believe what I find out, what I can prove myself. But when a buyer or a seller tells me something, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, there's a good chance that isn't true. You're just telling me what I want to hear. So for me, when I'm feeling stress, I go in on myself, right? And I just go quiet. And then I figure it out on my own, and then I'm off again. How do you deal with your stress?
I don't really know. I mean, as Ray said earlier, I think then you're stressed every day and you just cope with it, and it becomes like a second nature to be stressed. I assume it's the same also in many industries. Maybe I wouldn't say I wouldn't call this stress, but frustration. Frustration comes absolutely every day because first of all, our job is considered as a shitty job. I mean, don't you feel ashamed when someone asks you what do you do? I'm a broker. I'm a real estate broker. I feel like saying I'm a crook. Like, I mean, this is what most people think of us. Like lawyers and bankers and real estate agents. I mean, we're seen like.
So that's shame.
Yeah, but I mean that's there's a reason for that. It's because there are many of them, in the market that are shitty agents and that are just they don't see the best interest of the clients. They see their own interest.
We're going off topic a little bit, but shame is a very strong reaction to what you do on a day-to-day basis. So that's something that.
So I think to answer your question, I see my level of stress coming out when I start to tell the clients that
to deal with dickheads.
Yeah, yeah, no, really. I mean, at some point you need to tell the clients
dickheads.
that they're acting like dickheads because they don't listen to you, they're not responsive to you, they feel like you're nothing, and you spend time on your job and you acquire some expertise that does not come out of nothing. I mean, we just don't get that from the sky. And that's about the time when I tell them, look, I mean, if you're not happy to work with me, don't. And so this is a stress that I won't have on my shoulders, because for me there is nothing more stressful than a client that does not answer, that treats you like you're nothing. So that's where it comes out.
So you deal with your stress by removing yourself from the situation.
Not removing, but confronting the client. Yeah, because in
his very gentle French accent. The fuck is wrong with you?
No, but yeah, you have to tell them. You know what I mean? It works. I mean, yesterday I was talking with a client who's been. We were signing a Form A, which he missed because he was traveling, and as if I didn't have things to do in my day. You know, I'm busy as well. My time is as precious as is, And I was talking with his assistant, and I told him, "Look, I mean, I'm more than happy not to bother you every single day if you don't feel like working with me. But I'm doing that. My team is working on your thing. So I mean, now please just act, or we let it go." And I think half an hour later, I had the Form A signed. So sometimes I feel like stress is actually a good thing because it's.
So you confront it. You don't walk away from it. That's
Well,
good.
I think you have to. You have to cope with it. You have to open your mouth. I mean, I think there is nothing worse than keeping it for yourself, because if you keep it for yourself, I mean, this is gonna explode at some point. So you have to let it out. I'm a black belt in karate, for your information, and my sensei back in
Are you
ages.
threatening me?
No. But what I mean is,
decline.
you know, in karate, you have it's not only the sport; it's about the philosophy behind. And my sensei always taught me that you have to dare to confront. You have to dare to have hard conversations.
Yeah.
And I think many things could be sorted out. Many situations could be solved, and a lot of stress can be just evacuated if you dare to speak, and if you dare to confront the people that provides you the stress.
Ray, I mean, you don't have any kids, right?
No, I don't. But actually, I was thinking about
You
this.
sure?
As it, well, yeah, exactly. If anyone out there,
God, your kids would be terrifying.
but the thing is, you were all talking about having kids, but for me, I'm a big overthinker. So I will, a bit like you, if something's going wrong or it's a tough situation, I will insulate myself. I will stay at home. I'll often think about what I could have done better rather than what's gone right. And I think when you've got kids, I imagine that you've actually got something to distract you a little bit. You know, you can't just sit there at home and think, oh, God, well, what if I did that and I did that? It's like, no, you've got to feed the kids, got to go to school, got to do the school run, got to take them out, got to play. Whereas I literally could, if I wanted to, sit in a room of 4 walls and just ruminate. And
So what do you do when you feel you're getting stressed? What do you do as catharsis? Like, you know, I like to, again, play golf. Like I'll go out and, you know, just play 9 holes of golf. Right.
Everyone's got their own hobbies. Like I like to make music. I like to go out with friends, whatever it may be. But the biggest thing that I think helps with stress is actually the fact that muscle has been exercised before.
Yeah.
You know,
stress. Your body gets used to dealing with stress.
Or just that
more.
specific situation. Like, I can think of so many times, even over the last 3 months, where I've just been like, I don't need to worry because I've been in this position and I back myself to come out of that position again.
Well, again, sort of, you know, one of the stressful things I found, and I see it in new brokers, is their way that they cope with rejection. Right, I've been doing this for 28 years. Right, I get rejected. My old boss used to say to me, if you're not having an argument every day and you're not hearing no 3 or 4 times a day, you're not working hard enough and you're not asking the right questions. Because to get no's means you're closer to getting a yes, right? But if you're new in the industry and someone's just saying no to you constantly, the feeling of rejection must be crushing. You know, the longer you've been in it, it gets easier to hear. I mean, what do you think about hearing no all the time? Do you even hear it anymore?
Sure. Let's say it's just like, you know, the part of our business. Even if I was let's say another business out of this country, it's like to hear no and to accept that no and to work on that. It's just the part of our life.
Yeah,
you know, it's okay. But only once I just really get nervous because of one no in my life. It was like a brokerage. It was the client was like been in touch with me within 3 weeks. Like, I'm planning to do this one and that one, and he was so serious. I don't know what happened. It happened finally, and you know, he just told me, just wait until I will come. I said okay. So then I find that he already come, and I call him. Hey, welcome. How are you? Let's have a sit, cup of coffee. Let's discuss. He told me, don't call me anymore.
Wow.
Can you imagine? Nothing happened. Nothing. Like, you know, even I didn't share with him any, like, you know, any offers of nothing. And I just like, okay, just turn out the phone.
Yeah.
And I think a lot about that. But it happened maybe 2 years ago. and I still have no idea. No, I have any answer to that questions.
Ghosting.
Why no?
Yeah.
Why don't call me anymore?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
I don't think no's like a big deal though. A lot of people make out that it's a big deal in the industry, but
It is when you first start.
it is. But you've also got the ability to get to a yes, which could be life-changing amounts of money.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people complain about no so much. I mean, of course you're going to get told no, but then you could also do a deal next week that could land you $100,000 in your pocket. What other industry in the world, when you've got no prior qualifications, could you have that kind of opportunity? So if you don't like hearing no, well, tough
Maybe
shit.
that's why people think that we're all a bit like criminals, like he says, because we are ineducated. Well, not all of us, but some of us
speak for
are
yourself.
poorly educated, but capable of making so much money. And the only other industry you can do that in is crime.
Yeah, true.
You can make $1 million a year, $1 million a year
Yeah.
with no education. The only other way you're going to do that is crime.
But if for example, if I said to you guys, right, I'm going to give you 50 no's over a period of 3 months, and then the 51st answer will be a yes, and you'll make $100,000, what would you say? You'd say, sign me up.
Yeah,
So-
but you don't know when that yes is coming. What you've done is a finite 50 no's, and the 51st will be a yes. You're like, fine, give me all the no's and I'll get my yes.
But you'll probably get a yes before the 50 no's.
But a lot of people don't have that experience. Right? You've got to keep in mind, right? If we're going to timestamp this podcast, we are 2 days after the peace agreement has been signed between the US and Iran, right? So 3 months, there's been very little business done, right? And there's a lot of real estate agents who've come out here recently to find their way. And then they've walked into this conflict. And all of a sudden, these guys are just getting all of the no's, and the yes look seems so far away, right? And from that perspective, you have two options now. You either double down or you go home. And we're going to see a lot of people who come out here trying to make their new way in the world, and they're only going to have to go home with the tail between their legs and, like as not, a fair bit of debt.
Do they need a mentor then? Should there be more mentors in real estate? Should they be able to lean on somebody to say...
I mean, who would you listen to? Right? And so I have been asked to be a mentor because I'm very old and I've been doing this a very long time. And I actually think to myself, who the fuck wants to listen to me? Like, I got experience, that's it. But I think what it takes to be a mentor, you have to have a certain amount of arrogance. And I would feel like I'm stealing from someone if I judged them to be their mentor. But that's the thing, right? In this industry, if you aren't given guidance, and a lot of people are brought out here and just gone, there's data, call it. If you make it, you don't make it, that's not my problem. If you make it, I'll put my arm around you. If you don't make it, there's the door, off you go, there's the plane back to the UK. So, that level of stress and lack of support has to weigh heavy on people's minds. I mean, okay, right, you actually made a very good point. You have one transaction, one deal that didn't happen that weighs heavy on your mind. Have you ever had one of those?
So many.
Yeah.
So many.
And is it, I find Mansour's comment about the ghosting, the guy was just like, don't call me again. No explanation, no reason why. And Mansour, you think about that because you think maybe it's something I've done. Like something you've done that he's changed his mind.
Yeah, because of actually I didn't find anything because of nothing happened. Just like we have some steps and some stages of the discussing and let's say of the deal, yeah, and there happened nothing. Just like if telling short, I'm Mansour, I'm XYZ.
But that's the point, is you don't ever get the answer to why you've been rejected. If he picked up the phone and went, Mansour, I'm just not buying anymore, I bought something in Monaco.
I just try,
Like,
I just trying to find let's say some a lot of reasons which is absolutely out of this business. Maybe it's because of where I'm from. Maybe because of which religion I'm on.
But you see, that's the thing, is you think maybe it's you. We always think maybe it's something we've done, but actually there's two people in this scenario. Maybe it was something on him. Maybe he spent all of his money. Maybe he went to the casino the night before and just lost everything. You don't know, but human nature is, well, it's something I've done. It's something I've done to put this guy off.
There's so many variables, anything can happen on any single day. You know, you could have a transfer for the biggest deal that you think you'll ever do in your life, and the guy could have a car crash on the way to the transfer office, loses 2 limbs, you never do the deal, he never sees the light of day. But that's how tentative it can be. Going back to what you were saying before, the biggest thing I think in life, which my mum actually taught me, and I only really started to listen to it recently, is just having a level of detachment from the outcome. I think that's the only thing that you can do. Every single deal I do now, I assume that it probably won't happen. and if it does, then it's amazing. If not, but you talk about, like, you know, for example, people passing away, but then it makes you detached about certain things in life. You know.
So here's a question, right? You know, we live in a social media age when everybody puts their absolute best life on social media. You know, and as guys, you know, we have an innate sense of competition. You know, we measure ourselves against other people. You know, how am I doing compared to this guy, this woman, that woman? How much do you think social media is forcing people to work harder to keep up with this perceived lifestyle that some real estate agents have, where they're driving Lamborghinis, rented or not? You know, they've got their rose gold Pateks, all of this stuff. How much pressure do you think that puts on us as individuals to work harder, or just to go, oh shit, I'm not going to make it? Like,
I think that comparison just steals you of every bit of happiness that you could have. Like, if I think about myself, because we're all human, the only thing that can piss me off is going to that Instagram, like, discover page and seeing sold. And I'm sat there thinking, what the fuck am I, excuse my French, what the fuck am I doing? Just sat here, like, cooking.
well, I'm on an Instagram, I should be working.
Cooking dinner and like, oh, I'll have a chilled night in this evening on a Saturday night, and somebody's just sold a 200 million plot in Le Maire. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Whereas, I don't know, like, maybe you guys were in the industry before social media was such a big thing. Or, you know, you could just kind of go about your own business, do the fundamentals and the basics really well, and just, you know, kind of put yourself in the right position to close a deal when that opportunity comes. I messed up a lot of transactions when I first started in the industry, trying to push them through because I saw other people closing so many deals. Whereas now, I'm a lot more chilled about it.
But we live in a world now where a lot of people, the whole inshallah phase or phrase, you know, God willing, be like, is his hand in this transaction? What's going on? You know, the Indian clients that I have, they're like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Don't stress. I'm like, well, can you just sign this document then? yeah. No, I'll get around to it. I'm like, well, hang on. You're telling me it's not meant to be.
The reaction paper is everything,
yeah. Can you just send me this? Yeah, I will. Today? Sure. Tomorrow you phone, Barney, if he wants to back out the deal, it's not meant to be. I'm like, no, it is meant to be. You just need to do this thing. Anyway, you know, I think from a... No, I'm not going to say that. I'll ask another question. Sometimes
I have another vision that, you know, if I find some, let's say, some post which is some broker sold for 200 million, 400 million, I'm reacting different way. It's like, you know, like one more target, you know.
Is it possible for you to be happy for these brokers?
Yeah.
When you see these transactions, do you go, oh, good for him, good for her, well done them? Or do you go,
I'm okay with that. Like, you know, he maybe sometimes you understand that broker, he's the 101% get lucky because of that. Only. But anyway, even in this case, I'm happy because of that. So, enjoy, man. That's
I completely disagree with that.
that's what I meant. So happy
that's why we do a podcast. Yeah. No, because I
you will be happy if I will close the deal for 300 million, but not from the heart. Yeah.
No, but I think there's 2 points. I think there's 2 points there. One, when you know the person, I think it's a little bit different. You know, because you know what they've gone through. Do you know what I mean?
I think that hits the nail on the head.
If you know them, it's different. But I think there's always that part, especially within men, alpha, testosterone, whatever, there's always that little bit of envy that just kicks in right before you have the opportunity to be like, actually, am I happy for them? There's always that little bit of you fucking. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. But I think if you do know them, it changes everything.
I think you're right. But even then, there's still a little, could have been me.
Yeah.
I wish it had been me. You know, what did I do to not get that deal?
Yeah.
All right, here's another question. We've all been in real estate now for a few years, right? If you could speak to yourself from today and give yourself advice on your first day of real estate, what would it be?
Oh, tough one.
Shouldn't be tough. You guys had these questions yesterday.
Well, probably not to be influenced by all these social medias that you were mentioning before, because indeed it played a role in my way of interacting with my clients, or my the red line that I wanted to follow, and it was the wrong one. I think the social medias are a big how can I say that? This is something that gives a very bad image of our job first, and of the market. So this is something
Because why? Because it portrays...
Because a lot of bullshit is said on the social medias. You were talking about the sold. I mean, we know these Instagram pages you're referring to. Half of them are deals that were closed 1 year and a half ago or something. And sorry to say, we are using that as well. I mean, let's not be fools, but I mean, this is just recycling, and it gives sometimes an image of the market as if it was like super hot, and while it's not. And we saw that during the war. I mean, the war zone. I mean, this page should have been empty, like nothing got sold for at least 2 months, and we could see a massive deal. So indeed, it can generate the envy, the feeling of what am I doing wrong? I'm not closing anything, and these guys are closing in a war period. So yeah, I mean, not be influenced by just follow your steps, and
So confront conflict and stay away from social media.
yeah, and commitment to the client.
One thing. You're not allowed more than one thing.
Okay.
Verma?
I think respect money. I think like it's that whole thing of look after the pennies, and the pennies will look after you. Pounds, pennies, whatever. Pounds for you, maybe pennies for me. But
Dirhams.
I think about stress in this industry, and it all typically derives from people running out of money.
Agreed.
Or I need money. Or
People
I
do
need to
bad
make
things
more
when
money.
they're desperate.
They do bad things when they're desperate, but also as well, they do the big deal. They buy the nice car, they rent the nice place, they go on the big holidays, and then they come back after the summer and they go, shit, I've got to make it all back again.
I so agree with you.
And
Yeah.
if you think about the stress that we all go through, it's either providing for family, providing for ourselves, taking care of the future. It's all money related.
As a business owner, disagree with you fundamentally. I want you to make money, go away, spend it all, come back, and be hungry to go again. But as a person, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And when you find the people that have done bad things in the market, like go round brokers, lie to their clients, it's usually become from a position of desperation, which is fundamentally around money. People are inherently good, I always think, but people do bad things when they're in bad situation. So respect the money. Nice. Mansour?
Let's say basically I understand that everything comes on time for everything, for all, let's say, steps, and for all your position in your life, they have their own time. But I think on the start, from the first day, maybe I waste more time that it have to be, because of just like don't waste the months or years to understand and to catch any chance to close any deals, like trying to cover all the market. Just 1 to 3 months, understand how it works, and then make your decision.
You mean
on that.
focus on an area?
Yeah, focus on an area, even like focus on the, like, on the just the market, like it's off plan or secondary, which position you are in the secondary, or which let's say markets, low market, some apartments 1 million for 1 bedroom, or the luxury market. Of course everything comes on time, but if the piece of advice for
Be
me
patient
that
and
years
focus
ago,
in an area.
of course, yeah.
So we have a saying in England, and I'll probably get this completely wrong, but we have a saying, and it's called a jack of all trades and a master of none. Right? So it means you can do a bit of everything, but you're not really good at one thing. Right? Not a lot of people know this, but the actual saying is a jack of all trades and a master of none, but nothing is better than a master of one, which means it's exactly what you say. Be focused, be the absolute best at the one thing you can do. Because once you do that, and you're an absolute master of your area in real estate, people will come to you with their clients, right? You'll have your own listings, and people will go, I need, I need a villa in Dubai Hills. Well, Alex is the guy I'm going to go to, because we all know Alex has got everything, right? That's the way it works. I think from my perspective, if I was to give myself some advice when I started out, it's more true here than I think back in the UK, but I've always said to people, watch what people do, not what they say, because people's actions will tell you all about them. What they say means nothing. Words are just noises, but people's actions will tell you their intention, their desire, and the way they're going to treat you. So that's it. Just watch what people do, not what they say.
I agree.
I've told you guys that though, right?
One more short moment. Trusting less.
Don't trust anyone.
Yeah, I mean,
Brutal.
how let's say, if
That was
in
the
English,
first thing you
if
said, I think, opening this session, right?
What?
That you don't trust anyone in the industry, or
I trust what I can verify. There's certain. If you guys tell me something, I'll trust you. But if it's somebody that I don't really know that well and they tell me something, I'm like, I'm just going to fact check that. Thank God for AI, because fact checking things is so much easier now.
It was just like, the huge trusting tool, let's say, to everyone around me. And, we have like some words, if we translate, it will like, if someone call you friend, he want to scam you. If he call you family, he already scammed you, if like translate it correct, like word by word. Yeah. And that situations happened in my experience a lot of times, and I saw it, and so okay, enjoy you avoid me with my buyers, we avoid me with my sellers, so okay, you will pay me not in this life, maybe in next life, but anyway, enjoy. That's it, but less trusting. That's it.
In the interest of sort of bringing this back more to mental health, what would you say to somebody, to a guy who's in this market who feels like they're falling behind, feels like they're being left behind, they haven't done any business, they're running out of money? What piece of advice would you give to this guy, made up guy?
So maybe never came back, never make this step back. Just like
Do you want to think about it?
Yeah.
Go.
I think just think about what you really want. If Dubai's somewhere where you want to forge a career and a future, then have balance, like work hard, but also pay attention to friends, the things that you love. You can't be 100% all the time unless you recuperate, rest, come back. If Dubai's somewhere where you look at it as more like an office, and then you come, you make money, you do business, and you leave, whatever, then put 110% in while you're here, and then look forward to the break when you have it.
Well, I guess it depends who you're talking to. If you're
A made-up person.
but if
You get to decide.
If you're talking to a guy who started in the last 5 years, and who was in a market that was booming, and now he's in a position where he's not selling anymore. You can tell him, dude, I mean, maybe that's the time to test yourself and see if you're really good at what you want to do, and work more. If you are dealing with someone, if you're talking to someone who's been in the business for like you in the last 28 years, I mean, I would just say, keep doing what you do, because you're an expert in what you're doing. So there are times like that in life. Money goes, money comes, and money does not come. So it will come back.
I've had a moment, pre-COVID, 2013 maybe, where I was on my last dime. I'd run out of cash. I had about 70 grand's worth of credit card debt. My wife was working at the time. We were living on her salary, which wasn't quite enough to make ends meet. And we were having frank conversations about going back to the UK. And it was not if, it was when. Like, how long can we let this last? And then I sold W23 with my friend Chris Boswell, and that was what kickstarted my.
But don't you think that a lot of people get overstressed because they know they are not doing the right things? And when I say the right things, I'm talking about they don't work enough. I mean, you told us as a boss of a team. I mean, you told us, guys. I mean, like the good days where you could just go around and sell like hell because the market was booming. Those days are over. Now you need to work. You need to extra work. And I think it's pretty stressful for those people who thought that this job was an easy job, that you could get money falling from the sky by not really working. I mean, I'm sorry, but I've seen so many of them, so many of the real estate agents being in semi-holidays during the year, making a lot of money, and think that's okay, that's going to last for life.
This is the way life will be.
I mean, no way. Now I understand that there's a lot of stress because, now you need to move your ass and get to work seriously, and maybe educate more yourself about the market, because there were many of us that were not educated enough.
No, I think if you've made a lot of money in the last 5 years, and you've potentially, I mean, there's some real estate agents out there who've made enough money to retire. Put your money somewhere safe, making you 5-6%. You could never work a day in your life, and there will come a time where you go, okay, well, this market isn't for me. But I would be cognizant of when that time is, because you can wax every single penny you've earned over the next 2 years trying to make it work, when you could have gone, I'm 35 years old, I've got 5 million quid in the bank. I could go back to the UK, or I could go back to India, Pakistan, wherever it is, and I could live comfortably. Be aware of that, because this market that we're in now is not for everyone. It's really not. Like you say. And like you did, and you weren't with us at the time, but during the whole Eid break, we were working. Everyone else was off. I mean, you had your wife's birthday, so I forgive you. But, there were people off in, Mexico, Bali, Thailand, wherever they could go to get away from everything, because they've made so much money that they don't really need to work anymore. Right? But actually, the market that we're going to go through now, peace agreement signed and everything, but I don't think we're out the woods. The market we're going to go through now is not for the kind of people who were taking orders before. You have to outwork your competitor. And if you aren't prepared to do that, then, well done. You've made a lot of money. Have a nice life.
What did you say to yourself before you sold W23 with Chris? Can you remember what your mind state was like?
It was terrible. I remember negotiating. We'd bought a house. Yeah, I would think we'd probably been in the house. My daughter had just been born. And I remember walking around the garden, and we'd just bought AstroTurf from Dragon Mart. And I mean, it's a huge piece of land. We had no landscape. It was literally just trees around the edges, and then the middle was just AstroTurf with some interlock.
Where you are now?
Same house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I haven't moved. And I remember walking around negotiating on this deal, going, if I don't get this to work, I'm out. I'm done. Right? This is, it all comes down to this negotiation. And we agreed the price. The buyer agreed to the seller's demands, and then the seller increased the price again. And I went, I was dumbfounded. But at that some point, yeah, the owner was a political figure, so he was a very, very wealthy man. And I got the buyer to agree. The buyer was like, "What are you calling? We've agreed everything." I got them to agree, and then the seller increased the price again. And I said, I can't deal with you, to the seller. I was like, I'm not getting my clients, my buyers, to play your stupid games, because I'm going to get them to increase and you're going to increase again. I went, I'm out. You can keep your house. And his side man, a guy called Ziad, super nice guy, went, Barney, I see what you're going through. Like, I'm a bit embarrassed to be doing this. Give me the buyer's number. I'll talk to them. And I was at my wit's end, and I went, take it. I'm done, because I can't close this for you. And Ziad phoned me back, and he went, everything's agreed. They're not happy, but I promised I'd buy the wife some flowers at the transfer office. Dickhead here bought the flowers. But yeah, that was it. But the conversation I was having with myself before that was it. I'm done. Like, I can't make this work for me and my wife and my daughter. And I'll go back to the UK and I'll become an estate agent back there and, try and eke out a living.
How much, there's a reason I'm asking this, how much do you think Chris played a part in helping you through that deal, or your mindset?
I mean, we were collaborative in everything. We were negotiating together. They were Chris's buyers, and he was having conversations with them, and I was obviously having conversations with them too. The seller was mine. Completely mishandled him, obviously. But I think when you're working, a lot of real estate agents in this market work against the real estate agent that they're in the deal with. It becomes a dick swinging contest of I'm going to break you and make you think the way I want you to think. When actual fact that kills deals, right? You and I are in a deal. Our job is to make sure that buyer and seller get what they want, not by fighting with each other, but actually finding a middle ground. So you and I become one, and we then negotiate a transaction. But I see real estate agents yelling at each other on the phone. You have to do this. My buyers do it. You have to, guys. This is a team effort.
But that would negate a lot of stress, right? Mental health wise. Like, can you imagine
everything? If you sit down together and write, we're a team, let's get this done.
It's like a problem shared is a problem halved, right?
I find my transactions where I represent buyer and seller are so much easier because of arrogance of, some people. They think I need to bend you to my client's will to get this deal done. Otherwise, I'm going to look like an idiot. Most clients just want the house. They want the money or the house, right? If you can work together with your broker, your counterpart, life becomes so much easier. Next question. Right. I think we've got 8 minutes to talk about this. And this is a good one. So if you took away all of your money, all of your success, all of your cars and your watches and your houses and everything, and you were laid bare, what kind of person do you think you'd be? What kind of priorities would you have? Because we cover ourselves in work, right? I go on holiday and I work. My wife is always shouting at me when we're watching telly. She's like, she reads, if we're watching anything with subtitles, she reads the subtitles to me because she knows I'm not watching. We go away on holiday and we're at the beach and I'm on my phone. Right? If for me, if you stripped everything away and I was laid bare, the only thing that I would want to do or have or care about is making sure that my wife and kids are good. That's it. That would be my reason for living. I would build the mud hut. I would, plow the fields. I would do whatever it took to make sure that my priorities were met. And that is my wife and my 2 kids.
Well, I have the same answer, of course. It's what else when you have kids and a family and a wife?
I think
there is nothing else. As you know, I recently lost my best friend. He died in a very stupid accident, and when I was 1 week in Belgium for his funeral, I was like, why the fuck do we do that? I mean, I was even reconsidering my position in Dubai. I mean, why I'm here? Why am I building my life in Dubai? Because I could be close to my friends back home, and I could be close to my family. I don't see my family enough, obviously, because we don't live in the same country. And yeah, the answer to your question is obvious. I mean, the just secure our kids, our family. That's the main point. I mean, because we never know. I mean, if you strip us out of all our belongings, etc., what's left? And sometimes we spend more time. I mean, you were just saying that on holidays you spend your time with your phone. I mean, do you ever feel on holidays when you're you are on holidays? I mean,
I've been institutionalized to my work.
Exactly.
And I don't
I
hate
mean,
it.
I
Like, I
don't
love
see
my
the
job.
difference between my private life and my professional life. And this accident that my friend went through and lost his life put everything in perspective for me in the way that okay, I mean, you're doing that, you're working. And also a conversation with Fabrizio was very interesting about that. He was saying that his time was dedicated to his family and kids, and the time was the most precious thing that you can have. If you don't, if you waste your time, which is not dedicated to make money, to secure your wife and kids, this is money. This is time that you're lost. That is lost, because this is some time that is taken away from time you could spend with your family. So what I mean to say is that sometimes I'm wondering why I do that, and the first answer is to secure the wife and family. So,
But the future? I mean, the reason I do it is because one day I want to retire and I want to spend that time with my wife and kids.
yeah, I mean, then your point would be to be retired as soon as possible. Because
nice.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, to be honest, if tomorrow you win at the lottery, let's say, when I say win at the lottery, you close the biggest deals ever, and you get I don't know, $10 million in your bank account. I mean, will you feel satisfied and secure with that? Because that's some good money to stop, depending on where you live and depending on what you want to do and your luxury taste or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes you have to come back to that question. Why do I get all this shit in my face, this frustration, this no's all the time, to get the money to secure the family and to be able to spend some time with them? Because it will all come back to that. That's the center of your universe. And I guess even if you don't have kids now, I mean, this will become...
Well, I'm excited to see what Ray says, because I think, Mansour, you're going to say the same thing, right? If you had nothing and everything was reset, what kind of person do you think you would be?
I can answer to that question without if. Because I have, let's say, experience, an example from just my life. It's still me. That's it. Your money and some success in your business or job or something like this. So it can just finish in one day, in 1 minute. And, everything depends if you will lost what. If you lost something, actually, I think nothing will change in my life, as a person. If you lost someone, this is so just for example, when I lost my parents, I was young, 17. It makes me older too early, This is what changed with me. If you lost the money, so you lost the money. Tomorrow you will make another money. If you are not, let's say, the stupid guy, everything is your word, shaken hand in shaken hand, and your status, your social capital, is everything. Money is money. So you lost the money. So okay, wait a bit. You will get more, another.
So you're saying
from another
don't put
way.
too much pressure. Don't put too much importance on the nonsense, on things, and on money.
Yeah, just of course it's responsibility, because of I have family, kids, and everything, and it's all day with them. It's the money, even some lollipops is the money. No one will bring it to you for free.
But it's a weird thing, right? Because to get the money, you have to spend time away from your family, right? But you're getting the money to spend more time with the family.
Yeah, but that's part of the education as well.
But that's the cruelty of life, right?
Yeah, but
I want to spend time with these people, but for me to do that, I have to spend time away from them.
I think the worst thing on earth that you could do is to spend your life with your kids. I mean,
because you'd kill them.
Can you no? But can you imagine
I'd
if
kill
you
mine.
if you let's say you can't stop working, but you have enough cash in the bank. Would you spend your time with your kids? I mean, they would see you not working. They would not have the taste of building something, of working. I mean, it's and for me, it's I could not imagine if I could stop working now. The last thing I would do is to spend 100% of my time with my kids because I would not
100%.
stop working. I mean, it's as simple as that. And,
Yeah.
I think this is something we get in Europe. You know, in that in Europe you have the retirement time. I mean, you need to in Belgium you have to stop at 67. Why on earth? I mean, who says that you have to stop at 67? If
You
I want
have
to
to.
keep working, you don't have to. I mean,
You have to. What happens if
I
you
mean,
go
as an
at
employee,
68?
you have to, but you can then become independent. But good luck in Belgium. But what I mean to say is like working and having a professional activity and building something is part of life. I mean, if we were still in the forest or on a beach, I mean, what would be the work? The work would be to build the house, to build the hut, to hunt.
Well, no, as you
to-
get older, you become in tribal societies. You become older, you do less of the hard work, and you become more of a mentor. You teach people how to do the hard work.
Well, that's still a work.
Sure, I mean, sitting around talking doesn't seem like particularly hard work to me. Case in point.
That's
To be honest with you, I wanted to hear what you said because I think with us three having kids and a family, it's all pretty like
It's the boring
prescribed.
answer.
Surprise
For you?
us.
I know. I think it's just about having fun. I think it's
Okay.
about having fun. Like, I read this quote once, and I can't recite it like word for word, but we're all at heart just kids, but with responsibilities and stress. Like, we all just want to have fun, whether it's like with people that are family, kids, friends, whatever. We all just want to have fun. So
Don't you want peace?
yeah, but I think having fun is peaceful. You know what I mean?
Or having peace is fun?
Having peace is also fun. Yeah, yeah. But you know, like back to Mansour's point, you know, if you've got an invitation to a restaurant, just go. If your friends are at the bar this evening, just go. You know, you'll only regret the things in your life that you didn't do.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
you can't just sit at home and think, oh, you know what, this is good because then I can rest and then tomorrow I can wake up at 7 and give work 100%. No, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And we're all here, I believe, just to have fun.
And fun is peace.
Yeah.
Peace is fun.
And peace is
When was the last time you felt truly at peace?
I don't think I ever have.
You must have.
I don't think I ever have. I think about the times when I was happiest in my life, and it was probably when I had the least amount of responsibility. So 17, 18. I always say to everyone, my favourite car was my first car, and it was a complete shit heap. You know, it was a Volkswagen Polo that was like 12 years old with a mirror hanging off. My favourite job was my first job, where I made the equivalent of like 6,000 dirhams a month, because I didn't have a care in the world and I could just have fun. And then as soon as, you know, you start financing the cars, you start having rent to pay, you start having mortgages, you start having life goals, you have a partner, you want to go on holiday, then like the fun kind of starts to dissipate a little bit.
You find fun in different places there. But it's not. I'm not talking about fun. I'm talking about genuinely at peace. And the reason I ask that is because of the industry we're in. Right? You know, I don't turn off. Like, you know, and I'm not constantly on my phone. I mean, I'm not like that. But I'm always, you know, if my phone rings, all of our phones are rung here, and I'm actually really impressed with all of you. You've all kind of ignored them and haven't checked, apart from Mansour, who's been checking his phone religiously. But, you know, for us in our industry, to turn off, to find peace is so difficult.
Yeah,
Right.
because you can miss you
That's
can
it.
miss a deal.
Constantly with the cortisol, constantly with the
But I
stressful.
think you sign up for that. I think you sign up for
I
that.
don't think people truly know what they're signing up for
I
when they
think that,
first
yeah.
get into real estate.
But as you said, I mean, you can make with one deal, you can make 100,000 or 200,000, or sometimes even a 1 million on one deal. I mean, this has a cost, right? And you need to be available 24/7.
So
for
when
your
was the
client.
last time you felt at peace? He never has, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah, I can't remember, to be honest.
So is he full of shit too?
No, I think
No,
I think
probably
everybody
during-
has
you know what?
found peace.
Yeah, I was feeling at peace when we had our first daughter, which was in the middle of the COVID. Nothing to do, no fear of missing out. Just
Oh,
have my
man.
kid. Nothing is open. You're just there, and we were happy because we just had a kid, and there was absolutely nothing to do. I mean, no responsibility, nothing. We were a bit like when you're on a plane. When you're on a plane, I mean, it's a very good moment because, well, first of all, you can relax, etc. You are not in responsibility. You have nothing to do. Your phone, I mean, now you can get internet on a plane, but I never switch it on a plane. But on a plane, you give the responsibility to the pilots, and that's it, and the crew. You're not in responsibility anymore. COVID was great. I actually enjoyed COVID.
Yeah, I had
I was
an
happy when it stopped,
inflatable pool in the garden, one of those Intex swimming pools. I can't remember. I was in the house on my own, and I just remember putting on a podcast and lying in this inflatable pool on my own with a cup of coffee, and just like, it's amazing. What about you? When was the last time you felt at peace?
I think this answer will be totally out of, let's say, our business, just the real peace. It was, let's say, Ramadan. I've been in Saudi, in Mecca, for the last 10 days, 10 nights of Ramadan. And it was like, even how I can merge how much peace is that. It's
When
like,
was this? Last year?
No, this Ramadan.
Okay.
Yeah. But, let's say in our usual life, even like weekends, I'm absolutely out of any weekends, any timing, It's just a part of the business, and I cannot like turn off my phone and tell someone like, don't disturb me, I'm on peace. No, I can't.
We do have an agent in our company who refuses to answer the phone after 8 p.m. Is it?
Is that me?
Well, it was once you, and then you got told off for that. I think it's Chamberlain. Doesn't she refuse to answer the phone after 8 p.m.?
Yeah, true.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It depends who calls, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I did it, it wasn't like I'm not answering the phone to anyone. It's just certain activities I won't do after 8.
No, but if she sees the client
Because you're busy
calling,
doing other activities.
busy doing other activities, having fun.
I can. I have my good friend of mine. He's also from Russia. He has his own real estate company here, and I know he's like, his bedtime is 10 p.m. He wake up at 5 a.m. It's every day, day by day. After 10 p.m., even 10 and 5 minutes, it's impossible to call me, and they will never answer you, and they will call you back. But I have no idea how it works because of, we are not working only with some clients who's right now in UAE, right? You have to talk with someone from US, someone from Australia, I don't know, and then time difference, and you cannot talk to your potential clients, some buyers, investors, like, call me at 3 a.m. from your time, I'll be on duty. It not works in this way, so that's why for me it's sounds impossible.
So what we're saying is, in our industry, it's very difficult to find peace.
Yeah.
And I think that is an interesting place for us to wind this up. I think what we can all agree with is that there's a lot of stress in our industry, and I think I like what we spoke about before, that if you can collaborate with the people who you are in your transaction with, you will find that your stress levels are much more depleted, because working with someone is much better than working against someone. And I also think, given where we are right now, we're going to go through some hard times. I think conversations like this with the people that you're close to, like I've learned a lot about you today, because we've just taken a bit of time to sit down and shoot the shit and get to understand each other. I like the way your brain works. I really do. I like it when it works.
But it's because we don't have enough time.
Yeah, because we're so fucking busy. But I think, if we can say anything to anybody who's going through a hard time right now, especially, on Men's Mental Health Month, let's try not just to make it the month. If you are struggling with people, if you're struggling with business, if you're struggling at all, it's important to just spend a bit of time. We've been here an hour. Spend a bit of time with the people that you actually feel like you can open up with. You are not alone. This is a tough industry. You're going through what a lot of other people are going through. So, just reach out to someone. You can reach out to any one of us, I guess. Apart from him, he's not much help at all.
Too busy having fun.
We have been a couple of the guys from Eden Realty. Thank you for joining us. Mansour, thank you. Vermnet, thank you. And Alex, thank you. We'll see you again. We'll probably see you about this time again next year when it's time to regurgitate how we can all be there for each other. Thanks for joining us.